Hello and welcome to Patriot Game Day. We have a breaking announcement, and no one does breaking or announcements quite like two of us up here with a couple extra personalities as well. It is Game Day Turkey Bowling. This is the one day on the calendar that everyone has circled, and I'm not talking about Christmas break or your birthday. It's Turkey Bowling Day, Patriot.
Yes. You're at Patriot Nation. We're excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another great year.
Yeah.
On the eve of what could quite possibly be the most, the biggest
Yes.
turkey bowling of all time,
I agree.
we are here to discuss the matchups and the winners for tomorrow's bracket. Let's go ahead and start by doing some introductions. I'm Mr. Hildebrand. I'm the principal here.
Yeah, Mr. Colony, fifth grade teacher here.
Mrs. Logan, 6th grade.
Mr. Cooper, a semi-finalist the last 3 years running. So.
Are you sure about that?
Mr. Cooper, you have a vast history.
Yes.
We're going to rely on your expertise today as we go forward. So let's go ahead. Mrs. Logan, kick us off here with a little bit of history with turkey bowling.
Yeah, so turkey bowling's been a part of Patriot Elementary traditions. Dates back to 2017. Mr. Hildebrand joined us and brought with us turkey bowling. A pretty highly contested year. No one really knew what was going on that year. Didn't really know what was turkey bowling. Mrs. Wiest was our champion 2017.
Yeah.
And then the dynasty.
Well,
Then we got to
that's
discuss it. Mrs. Deming, 2018 champ. 2019,
Yeah, I remember
Mrs. Deming does it again. 2020, COVID, no winner.
No winner.
We were not sure what was going to happen last year when we brought turkey bowling back. Mrs. Deming pulls it out again.
Yeah, I gotta throw this out there. At what point do we just call this a dynasty for Miss Deming? I mean, was that 3 out of the last 4 of the last 5 years?
Yeah, and without COVID, we're probably putting her name up there with Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls.
I mean,
she is that good.
Yeah.
It's in that category. Yeah.
Yeah, it's intimidating. I mean, I'm the night before. I'm like, do I even try?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
I don't know. I
Well, I
don't know.
bought
She
3
could be
turkeys
beat.
already, so I've been practicing in my garage. So
Yeah, she's a staff member that practices year-round, and you'll see that blood, sweat, and tears tomorrow when we throw the first turkey. So let's go ahead and get into our picks for today. We're going to start right at the top. You can see these on your screen in the background. As we go through, just go ahead and mark those down. First off, Mrs. Logan, let's start with you. We've got 6th grade and 5th grade. We have 2 of the representatives here, Mr. Colony. So how do you feel like they're feeling facing off against each other, and who's going to move on?
You know, I've seen 5th grade. They've been out in the hallway practicing a little bit. I don't know what their students have been doing. They've been out there practicing, but I got to give it to 6th grade. I mean, you've got Miss Simmons, you got Mr. Cooper, you got myself, so I got to give it to 6th grade.
Yeah. The 6th grade.
Well, I disagree with that one.
Okay.
I disagree with that matchup. I think 5th grade's got it. A lot of our PLCs have been involved with getting turkeys and turkey bowling, so I don't know what you've been doing in your PLC though.
When 5th grade needed a new staff member, they didn't really look at instructional methods, but they did think about turkey bowling, and they brought Mr. Colony up to the table this year. They're hoping it bolsters their chances. We'll see if it pays off for them.
We'll see about that.
Mr. Colony, that was a bold prediction. Do you have a person you would choose to move on then?
Oh, from the 5th or 6th? Or
You
from
picked
5th.
5th grade.
Right,
so.
well, you know what? I'm going to have to go with Mrs. Nightmare Nelson.
Nightmare Nelson.
Yeah,
that's
she
a
usually
great-
takes me
great
down.
pick.
So
Yeah, great. Moving on. Next matchup is 2nd grade versus the office staff. Who wants to kick us off? 2nd grade versus office.
Well, I'd like to make a pick, and I think it's going to be Mrs. Pick of 2nd grade
Ooh,
leading
I
the
see what you did
charge
there.
into the next round. Look for Mrs. Pick to lead the 2nd grade.
Did you know? She was in a bowling. She was in a bowling league. Has some bowling history in her background. I think that's a great pick. Any other dark horses coming out of that one?
I'm going with Kunkel with office staff. I mean, she's up there. She's in charge. She kind of watches during the day, kind of sees what everybody's strategy. So I'm going Kunkel with the office staff for that one.
That's a good pick. She gets to see the competition all morning. She watches with a very close watch for Mrs.
She's
Kunkel as
been
well.
out in the office looking at some game film too from the past 5 years. I've seen that.
So, moving on, specialists and our special education paras, 2 very special groups. Who do we like out of this one?
Ooh, this is going to be a tough matchup. So we have our specialist, Mr. Kimball. He was one of our Winter Olympics.
Yes.
He was part of the winning curling team. We'll see. Does that translate from curling to turkey bowling? We'll see.
I got an upset there. I got 13/4 on that one. I got the specialists coming in.
Okay.
That's an upset for filling out brackets right there. That's what I pick.
Very good. Moving on. First grade versus the Learning Center. Who do we like in this one?
I think this is a prime upset. We have Mrs. Eklund out. She had a baby. So we have to look at, can this substitute Mrs. Lynham stand in for this one? I don't know if first grade can hold on. That learning staff is hungry for some turkey, and they're going to be primed for an upset here as well.
Yeah, Mrs. Chris has looked good the past few years at turkey bowling, so this might be her year. This might be her year.
That I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Colony, kick us off. We've got the kitchen staff versus third grade.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go with third grade on that one. Miss Collins and Mrs. and Sarah, Mrs. Wolterman, they've been out there practicing a lot lately. I think I'm gonna give that to the third grade team.
No, kitchen staff. They served turkey and gravy last week. I
was
don't think
true.
that was a
Good point.
coincidence. I don't think that was a coincidence. I'm giving this one to the kitchen staff.
I have to agree. They do exactly what they're doing. Kitchen staff is going to be bowling.
All right, well.
All right, we've got a couple rookies on the next one. Fourth grade and anyone else we missed. Well, who do we like in this one?
I think this is going to be a good time for the young guns. Watch out for this brand new fourth grade team. There's no film on them yet. We don't know what they're capable of. We might have some fresh new talent coming through turkey bowling.
I'm gonna agree with you. I saw Lindbrunner today in volleyball. If she has anything of that talent for turkey bowling, it's gonna be interesting. She's got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are definitely in store for some great matchups tomorrow. Now, first time on the show here, we are going to bring in a guest picker to give us a little bit of background and history as to who really has the best chance. We like to hear from the community and those that know Patriot best. So go ahead and join us here if you can hear us still. Are you out there? It's Mrs. O'Leary.
Yeah. Look at
Mrs.
this.
O'Leary. So nice to see you. How have things been?
Great to see you guys too.
Thanks for joining us on the show.
Absolutely. I was so excited to get invited back. Turkey bowling is my favorite November sporting event.
Now, Mrs. O'Leary, last year I recall you had some footage that you were really, you were geared up going after Mrs. Deming. You know, it's highly competitive. You two had gone back for many years. We thought your expertise would be great today, as we were talking about. She's building quite a dynasty here. Who do you like in this, and will Mrs. Deming repeat?
You know what? I got to do all of my training with Mrs. Deming, and unfortunately, I could not pull it off. She always got me. But I was thinking about the competition this year, and I feel like we're going to have some people coming on pretty strong after those tough losses last year. And like you guys said, we have some newbies. That might throw a wrench in some of these competitors' games. But even with all of that, I am pretty confident in my thinking that Sarah Deming will be bringing home the title this year as well.
Whoa, well, you heard it here first. Mrs. O'Leary picking Mrs. Deming to be our 2022 Turkey Bowling Champion. The rest of the crew, what do you like? Is this Mrs. Deming's to lose, or is somebody else coming to the forefront?
I think she's got it.
I mean, until someone steps up, I gotta continue going with Deming on this one.
I'm going to be bold. I'm going to take the field. I think this is the year Deming goes down.
Mr. Cooper, we shall see. It'll be
I don't know if anyone can beat her.
I don't know if they can. It'll be a great day of turkey bowling. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And have a great turkey toss tomorrow.
Turkey toss. It's
Turkey
a
toss.
little alliteration. There it is.
Toss.
There we go. Be a lion.
Yeah,
Mrs.
well, maybe a lion.